We are heroes of technology today.
I just want everybody to know that I've been talking for a while, and I did not click the go live button. So, yeah, whatever. This is Brian, and I'm Brad. Whatever.
Hello.
Well, you wouldn't have, Matt. Technically, you would have made some fucking things because we've been live. In my mind, we were live for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are the masters of technology today. Our age is not showing at all. We are
Fuck me. That was awesome. I took us live wildly early today.
You can't click a button. We're all fantastic.
That's top form even for me, man. That's we got stuff, man. We had a weekend of semi new meta.
Yeah.
And it was different. I also think that the data slate, we were gonna take that live, but between the two of us, things did not go well. So we'll talk about it a little bit here. Yeah, that's true. Technically, we were on time. I tried to go early I put a poll up because I think that a couple armies look just a significant amount better, and I'm going to start with that. Actually, do you want to start with that, or you want to take a look at the meta? They go together.
So no, I actually would much prefer talking about the who got significantly better, at least in our mind's eye, because we'll see if the data ends up supporting these hypotheses. But
yeah, well, I think the sister. Let's start with the easy one. I think Sisters is an army again. It might not be the sexiest thing, you know what I mean? There's other ones that got really cool stuff. We got new detachments and stuff, but like Sisters exists now. You know what I mean?
They're back to functional. I don't think they lowered the points on a few units that should have had their points lowered. But they function as an army because they have an army rule that makes them work again.
Right. You know, they got a little bit. They're an army again. I think that's got to give them at least consideration for people, getting better.
I think they're one of the three that got the most out of the data slate.
Yeah, I mean, they just got punted into the sun, and we just drug them out. So maybe they're not killing it, but they're definitely improved.
They're definitively improved. Miracle Dice going basically completely back to where they were. Makes it so you can run two of their detachments. It makes them function better. I think the faction specialists who went, nope, I'm good, are going, oh, I can go back to playing my army again, and we'll be very happy to go back to playing it.
Yeah.
And then another big winner, and I think a much bigger winner, and I don't know if it was the data slate as much as it was the new detachment. Orcs just got infinitely better.
That detachment's one of those ones that's going to either hit it out of the park or you're going to have a bad game. I think that in the hands of people really crushing it, we'll talk more about Orcs in the meta because Orcs did well, period, as far as winning tournaments and just had a meh win percentage, which I do think it's going to be a big deal. The Daga detachment is going to feel like somebody bad touched you sometimes, but other times, man, that whole army stands for one guy with an enhancement. They're hitting on fives, you know what I mean? For the most part, you got the +1/+1 from tank busters. They go down to fours if they're shooting a vehicle or monster. But I'm saying that army has the chance to either just delete you, but it also has the chance of with stealth, anything that gives you -1 to hit. You put them on sixes, and you're not shooting something that's on a objective. Then you're just kind of YOLO swagging, hoping for the best. I mean, for the most part, especially if you're standing on objective with full rerolls, you're talking about Ludas with the strat. Well, that's in combat though. For rerolls for wounds, you're going to get some real big results. But that army has shit for AP, and you have to spend a lot of CP to make a lot of stuff work because all of those are individual strats. So, for instance, I can make you ignore cover and +1 AP, but that's 1 CP, 1 CP. You know what I mean? You're going to have two big turns basically.
I think it's an army that if you can withstand turn 1 and turn 2, on turn 3 you can kind of go off, control the board turn 4, and on turn 5 mop up.
I mean, yeah, Matt, I think that he's right on that. There's a couple of people on that. I think that they're going to get a nerf fairly soon, and it's going to be an unfair nerf because they could have just changed the mechanic a little bit. Now, I watched multiple test games and stuff like that. Like I just watched Snags just wipe orcs off the board twice on Sunday. Came
What
back.
was he playing? What was he playing though?
Liberator Blood Angels. He basically everything in the open got killed, and then he touched the army. You know what I mean? We
Yep.
went up. They were playing a little bit heavier terrain. They were playing well, I can't remember. It's 4 or 3. I don't whatever. But he had some places to stage. But as soon as he started touching guys, I mean, you got to figure that almost everybody in that army is just sitting on close combat weapons. They're not even wielding choppas, like the tank buses, stuff like that. That's all just.
I think the more DACA, you should be focusing that army with about, I would say 60-40. You're going to have 60% DACA, and then 40% I'm going to reach out and touch you.
You can flat roll people. I mean, you're going to get big wins. Yep. You're going to have the occasional big loss. Lyle coming to the $5 super chat. How long until people start saying Brad said new orcs weren't that good? Orcs with the new Eldar, but Brad is still old Brad. I'm telling you right now, it's a very good detachment. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm looking at it. I got some people going to Adepticon that I said you definitely should, take this. I mean, the list that I currently made up is 3 units of tank busters, 3 shock attack guns with two of the enhancements, 3 units of looters, 10-10-5. You're going to put the guy with +1 and the 1 unit of looters. Then I've got a unit of Beast Snagger Boys for the Beast Boss. Still have Zod with a big unit of Gretchen in that detachment is banana. That strat needs to be changed, man. 1 CP for just being in the WOG all the time. It makes him bananas because you can just do first turn shenanigery. Because Scout 9, move 12 plus D6. Even if he doesn't charge, he can just move block your whole army depending on what you're playing. And then you didn't lose the WOG for the rest of the army. The army's very, very good. Don't get me wrong, but you have to play it in a very tactical way. I don't know what tactics works, but you also have to. You can just bounce off stuff. You know what I mean? You play like you play like new detachment with. I was just talking about this. You play new Custodes and you unleash the lions on Alaris. What are you doing with that army? You know what I mean? You could just bounce. You can't put the strat on everybody. All of a sudden, they just, all those Custodes, if they're sitting in terrain, are taking 2 up saves against you. You know what I mean? Yeah, like there is a real bounce factor with that army. Do I think it's good? Hell yes, I think it's good. I think it's really good. Sustain 2 is just crazy, and it will cause occasional, like, just sad moments. Like, you'll feel unfair occasionally because you're just going to you're going to play in a more open board on supply drop or something where you have to go to the middle and you're going to lose half your army and you're going to be like, this is bullshit. And sometimes it will feel like that, but it's going to ride a roller coaster.
I think it's one of the most interesting armies to come out of the balanced data slate. There are going to be times where it has bad feels. It's going to be the time where it is the bad feel. And it's fine to have that in the meta. It doesn't seem to bother me. Everything has bad matchups. That's definitely going to have some, but you're going to have a lot of really strong games with it. I think another big winner, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I think the Be'lakor detachment for demons, because of
Shadow Legion, dude. Okay, let's talk about that, Brian. See, I agree with you 1,000%, but also GW. Look what I found. I didn't know how that mechanism worked. How are you just gonna literally put a new detachment in, no change log, and just go, hey, you should probably read the demon rules because we randomly changed a bunch of them. Like Flesh Hounds change, Crushers change. Be'lakor, apparently he's on PEDs now because that dude got jacked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A bunch of people, Renmaster, just all these different units got small, different changes in mechanics.
So, and I mean, I assume all of that's to come in line with the upcoming codexes that are inbound for Death Guard, World Eaters, clearly Emperor's Children, and Thousand Sons. All those little changes, I'm all fine with. Let's bring everything in line. I was hoping to get 2 different types of Slanesh demons, but for confusion's sake, we'll keep it easy. But like, my big thing is a unit of 4 Havocs deep striking in with las cannons that can jump back into reserves.
I mean, that's legit. I mean, the fact is, how Kyle was running Bloodthirster with the rule where you can just, if you kill something, you can just leave. So it's just Bloodthirster killing you, then smoke bombing out of there is annoying. just Nurgle being -1 to wound in that detachment's bananas. So like even shit like Nurglings becomes annoying to kill. And then Khorne getting advance in charge. I think those were the biggest winners in that Shadow Legion.
Yeah,
advance in charge Khorne, -1 to wound on the Nurgle. I mean, both of those are just like they make instant differences, you know what I mean, on stuff. And also Fleshhounds became scouts. Yeah, I mean, they can just leave, so you can do different shit with them.
I think that army gained just an immense ton of versatility. Now, granted, they still had great play. But yes, the changes to the Slaanesh demons is probably the harshest of everything that came. One of the two harshest things to come out of the data slate. But that detachment and the fact that the Marines, the Marine portion of that just gains deep strike.
It's big too. We got Valentino on this. I actually think that the Chosen, the Chaos Lord, is fantastic on that with bouncing around. There's a lot of good things, but I to be honest, to be fair, I like the Chosen Lord with Chosen Chaos Lord combo with the Scout 9. Those dudes also have advance in charge. That's a bananas unit. And you can also use the strat if they kill something, a demon kills something and you're near it, both of them go into the air. So you could, it's at the end of their turn at the end. Still, you could be behind a wall.
There are so many combos and potential combos and twists and turns that you can make in that army. I just think the builds are phenomenal, and you're going to see 2 or 3 different builds come out of that.
Oh, 100%. Because each of the, and I love this because each of the builds for the different marks is different. Hold on. Probability $2. Stay the line, Brad. Go blue. But yeah, I think that's for me. I think that might be the most interesting detachment because, like the Orc DACA one, I made list and instantly knew what I wanted in the list, or at least most of the list. That demon, the Bellicor, the Shadow Legion. I looked at that and just went, "Oh, you could put a bunch of Khorne in here. You could put Nurgle in here. You could do all these different things. They've got a lot of
the bizarre Khorne Nurgle. Use Nurglings to screen out your scout move area. Get your scouts to lair up. Set up your deep strike for taking the proper angles on stuff. There is just a lot of play there. I think if you spend the time learning that detachment, figuring out what you want to do with it, the abilities are endless.
100%.
I see that being the people who are like chaos guys who just love playing chaos. I see that ending up being the go-to detachment for him for quite a little while.
Yeah, Bellicor became nuts too. The fact that he auto passes packs and gets packs. They gave him extra attacks. They made his strength higher. You know what I mean? That dude hits hard now. He's got 20 wounds. He doesn't fuck around. That dude smacks. Yeah. And it's legit on that. I think that this is probably the most interesting of the detachments that they showed because it's got so many. If you showed me, I bet you could probably bring easily 5 versions of that instantly, with what you're trying to do.
Yep. I agree with that one.
So I think that's a big deal. And dude, the one that I really like, I think Unleash the Lions, well, that's the strat, but whatever. The Lion, is it Unleash the Lions? Is it just actually the name of it?
I don't recall off the top of my head fast enough.
I will pull it up, but it's, man, that is Lions of the Emperor. But thanks everybody. I think that detachment is awesome. I think that they did a great job with it. They brought back a lot of things that made them super tough. Superior curation on like a Bike Lord, for instance, getting back in a 2-up, Fierce Conqueror. I mean, they've got all of these things. I mean, giving your guy, plus 3 strength, +1 AP and damage. That seems good.
That 6-man unit is now 6 1-man units.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is it can stay to either depending on what it gives you so much tactical flexibility. Remember, those guys also are rerolling, on monsters, vehicles, and characters. You know what I mean? So you effectively just go, I'm rerolling on everything except for bomb units, basically. And they've also got a weird, surprising amount of shots. With the grenades and the staves, they put some serious shots out, and they gave them some of the old strats on it. They've got, again, Unleash the Lions again. Excuse me. They've got this. They've given so many people this the ability to move after somebody shoots you. I do like the fact that you get to do your entire shooting with one unit before they get to do it. I think one of the nastiest ones. Do they have a 1 CP precision on the unit? You know what I mean? Your characters are going away. Like a Lara shoot, it hits your character, it spends a CP. You're like, well, I'm just gonna pull this guy.
And those two characters you had hiding in that Gene Stealer cult unit, yeah, just pick those up.
Yeah, I mean it's the best bike in it.
We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Lyle comes in the $2 super chat with the full truth. Shock, Brad likes Custodes once they get MSU rules. No, but you could literally bring 2 6-mans of Alaris Custodians and just go, oh, I'm just going to break them into 2 6. You're just like, I've got 1,000,000 drops now. Whew. Yeah. I mean, it's legit on that. So they've also got the what's the once per battle one? Oh, they're one. They can use their once per battle twice, so you could pop double Fino Pain, double whatever. You know what I mean? I just think they have really good stuff. They've got the ability to fall back and shoot. I think the strats are really what does it for me. Strats and enhancements, like the ability of them is super good too. Just, I mean, I'm never gonna be mad about +1 to hit, +1 to wound. That seems good. You know what I mean?
They were a good army before this. I mean, yes, they got a little bit of points kicks to solar there, but they were still a good army. Even without this detachment, they were still a good army. This made them just more flexible playstyles.
100%.
Like you're not pigeonholed into 1 or 2 detachments. You can now, kind of like, oh, I'm playing Custodes. Which version?
Yeah. Lyle and KR are both right about that. Trajan by himself with a second moment shackle. Lyle with 50-point flamers coming in with +1 to wound. They have so much flexibility.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I think that's another one of the big winners. So we've looked at the winners a little bit, and the losers. First off and foremost, I got to go with Eldar. I think they kneecapped Eldar a little bit too hard, and I think they're paying a little bit for sins of earlier in the edition still.
The problem with it is they shouldn't have nerfed the rest of Eldar. Ynnari should have just you get to do your move as soon as someone dies. Cool.
But they didn't really, they made Ynnari still the best part of the Eldar army.
Right, because they didn't change the mechanic as usual. Just if you make that when something dies, then you can move, then you'd have to make real decisions. At the end of the shooting phase, it's just super easy. You know what I mean? Yep. Also, I think that's another one where once you understand what happens, you're going to be able to play against it really well. When you just look at Ynnari and go, okay, I'm just going to treat one of their wave serpents as moving 28 basically, and then I just deal with that. I just pretend that the dude has that movement, and then you just measure that out and play from there. I think that the meta is going to take care of it themselves. I don't know why they nickeled and dimed it. It's super annoying is redoing all my 4 1,000 point lists for Adepticon. It's not like I could drop a melt-a-gun like he used to be able to do. I had to make 4 new lists. It was bullshit.
I mean, that's the unfortunateness of it is like some of the points changes to me didn't make a lot of sense. I just didn't feel like they had been in the meta long enough because they didn't like when Necrons went crate a little bit rough out of the get-go.
They had 6 weeks.
They let them sit and they let them lie. Eldar got what, a week and a half?
Yeah, man, it's crazy because they just
of fully being out and fully being allowed in events, and they got hit with points. And I'm sorry, I thought look, don't get me wrong, I'm not an Eldar sympathizer in any way, shape, or form, even though there's an Eldar army sitting behind me.
You could say that about every army, though. That doesn't make any difference.
not true. Behind me is not the Imperium. The Imperium's on the other wall.
My bad.
But it's one of the things of I just felt like they hit him too fast. I don't think they gave it time to affect the meta because I think the meta didn't get a chance to even attempt to adjust to it. It was like, here, we're just going to kneecap you right here really quick. And then you go, okay, so Ynnari is the best build now.
Also, stop legending the coolest shit. Bring back Shadow Specters. Also, why is Karandras Legends?
Hold on. Why is Karnak legend?
Dude, how about...
He's a current model that I'm not kidding, you can buy right now off the GW website. You can buy it in Combat Patrol Chaos Demons. And oh wait, it's still a viable model in Age of Sigmar. Did you just oops? We couldn't come up with a good rule for it. We forgot to put it in World Leaders. I don't know.
Rogers and Prince Uriel both out. Yeah. Prince Uriel's current in the storyline. He just saved his craft world for the second time. You know what I mean?
It's there's every once in a while it just makes you scratch your head of, well, maybe there's, maybe there's something coming along that we don't know about that we'll be happy when that happens. But right now we can be a little miffed that they're legending so much stuff.
Tournament, and they have not been tournament legal for a month. They had actually 3 weeks, but not a month. They'll be putting those numbers on me. Nobody let them come in that first weekend. Bridgehead.
Yep, Bridgehead. It needed what it got, and no matter how much Kyle says I'm afraid of having fun, I'm not. I played against it. It was super fun. I enjoyed getting my ass whooped by it because it felt like a fun guard detachment. And I was just like, all right, if you just fix some of the points in a CP or two, it'll be fine. And I still think it's going to win in the mid 50s for a win rate. I think it's still a good detachment.
Yes, it's just not boss mode. It's fine.
You have to think when you pilot it. Oh no, God forbid.
It's still good. KR says, somebody want to turn it with him, Bridgehead. Bridgehead's still fine. It's just not OP. That thing was just disgusting for a while.
Yeah.
It was like hands down the best detachment in the game, where you were just smoke checking people.
Yeah, and excess, and excess got hit. Right?
Well, Legion of Excess got Bridgehead fine, power level down, but still fine. Legion of Excess
punted.
Yeah, they got taken out back behind the woodshed.
I have a feeling that there's going to be some edits to some of those data sheets over time. Number one, to help them out a little bit.
I mean, if you're playing them, you're playing them in your Emperor's Children now. I mean, that detachment got.
And bombed. I still think Emperor's Children didn't get look, the book's out and available. If you've gotten the limited edition box set, there you can still find them in the wild for retail. It's a book that just feels mispointed still, at least in my opinion.
It's just wild to me. It feels like way back in the day when they couldn't figure out how to make Soulburst work, and then they just went, you fight first in an edition where it didn't matter at all. That was 8th, so like they went, oh shit, Legion of Excess is hitting too hard, what should we do? Take all of their rules away.
Yeah.
Like, what? So what do they do now? Nothing. Like, absolutely nothing.
Yeah. And
just play them in Carnival.
Yeah. We'll see where everything shakes out on that, because I still feel like Emperor's Children they missed a little bit of the boat on, but
they have some really, really cool rules though. Like Emperor's Children, I'm very high on still because I think there's a lot of combinations. I refuse to give up on any of that stuff. When you've got things,
no, I'm not giving up on it. I'm just saying, like, my initial reading of the book, because I'm very much the one of, hey, I got to see that in my hands first before I really truly pass judgment. And I was like, all right, there's no glaringly obvious, oh, that's busted stuff. And I was like,
sorry, Zoobs goes, somebody had an ex-girlfriend that played Legion. Getting double charge, for instance, is just game breaking. You're trying to play a shooting army, and then someone charges, and then charges again and kills you. You're like, oh, I was not planning for that. That's really hard to screen too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing. I we'll see where it shakes out. My initial reaction is I think once you play against it a couple times, you'll be fine. You'll get caught off guard at least once, even though the person will explain to you what it can do, and you'll ignore it because we don't listen all that well. And I I'm hopeful that it's better than my brain thinks it is, but on initial reading, I'm just like, yeah, they seem a little expensive for what they are.
I'll give Meta Monday and Corey both had a good point on it. They do probably just need some more units. They took away some units, and I like the fact that they took away some units, but I do think I wish that they had a couple new ones. You know what I mean? They've got the new stuff, and I liked it quite a bit, but I was surprised that they didn't give a couple more just straight, only noise rain if they were going to take that away. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
they seemed like they needed Forge Fiend. It seems like they needed the Predators.
Well, it was just nice if they want to make them that type of army that's playing that 18 to 24-inch game. It's fine. Just give them more. To be honest with you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or at least give them more ways to get there.
Yeah.
World Leaders Brian says Emperor's Shoulders cracked. I think Emperor's Shoulders is legit, man. Like I said, I like Carnival quite a bit.
I could be completely wrong on this, and I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. I don't think it's a bad army. I think it's missing something. It just feels like there's one thing lacking in that book, and I'm not sure what it is yet. I haven't played it to make that kind of determination, but it feels like something's missing.
Like some of their base dudes. I mean, like the fact that their Terminators actually seem like they might be legit because they're a little bit faster. They can shenanigans up. So I mean, I like that army. Again,
Sure.
it's one of the armies that I think that's going to have a lot of builds. So yeah, agreed on that, Corey. Some of the best rules in the game, yes.
Yes, they have some of the best rules in the game. I don't know. It feels like it's missing something. It feels like the points are a tad off. But again, that could just be me. I'm fully willing to admit that it could just be me.
Agreed on that. I don't think that a small amount of units means they're bad at all. I think those units are actually really good. I just worry about that you don't have enough versatility. I mean, you definitely do if you're playing, again, that's why I keep looking at Carnival, because it gives you more options and some more shenanigans. But 2 or 3 of their detachments are just bananas with their rules and strats. So I think that they're going to play very, very well. I think you're going to see a lot of Emperor's Children. I've been saying this for a while. I think that they might be super versatile because you could probably spam that mid game where you're getting into those close combat and close firefights. You know what I mean? So I think that's really good.
We'll see where it shakes out on that one. And with all their units not out and available yet, they're not an army until everything drops, I guess, the way I'll put it.
What do you think about non-codex? Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Wolves, anybody that basically is now that they cleared up the loophole. I was actually surprised when they put that out that they didn't go, you know what we meant, damn it.
Number one, I was a big proponent of that needed to be in there.
Yeah.
I think Blood Angels are fine. I still think, with the exception of Black Templar, who are just too goddamn fucking expensive for what they are, I think the Marine armies are fine. I think Dark Angels might need a little more love. Black Templar need quite a bit of love, but I think everybody else is okay.
And then we go to Codex Compliant. I think that, Ultras are nuts right now.
Yeah, I think, although Calgar got a point raise and Uriel got a little bit of a point raise.
Well, Uriel got his thing taken away. He can't deep strike anymore, which I think is actually, to be fair,
he can't deep strike in Centurions. Get it right.
Well, yeah, sure. That's what I wanted to in the first place. But that's in Vanguard. But I don't even know if I care that much because the Centurions went down quite a bit.
Yeah.
So those guys going down a ton, you can still bring them off the edges. Yet 100% it's not as good as deep striking. But you lose the points that you were spending on Uriel, and you get those points because they went down, 40 for 6? So you get like 140 points now. You know what I mean? Back into that list. So I definitely do not think that list is dead, even remotely.
I don't think so either. And you can still deep strike in aggressors, right?
Yeah, anything he can do Gravis and or pretty much everything but the syntax.
So I'm sorry. Deep striking flamestorm aggressors with +1 to wound, still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not bad. Is it the end all be all? No, but it serves a purpose. There's a lot of there's just a ton of interest in chapter compliant Marines. Hey, look, the boys in blue are back. Not that should be a surprise. They're the poster child of the game.
Yeah, it's also after Space Marine 2, Ultramarine stock went bananas, so they have to make them good. They're also rocking, Bobby G's way better than I originally thought, even at those points. That 12-inch aura of -1 CP is huge. Obviously, Double Oath is huge now that it's +1 to wound. Yep. It's legit. Hey, everyone. Yeah. So, yeah, I still think I think that Ultramarines Vanguard is as legit as any of those other Ultramarine shooting armies. You know what I mean? So
absolutely, I think Vanguard's really good. Gladius is still good. The Flamestorm can still be very playable. I don't think there's really Ultramarines are solidly overall a good army. They're going to be in that 50 to 55 win percentage.
They also can blow people off the board.
They're good.
Yeah.
Again, it's my favorite of the Space Marine compliant chapters. And I think Blood Angels, although the change to the non-angels, I guess is the way to put that, they're still good. You just change up a little bit of the way you play them.
Yeah. Hold on. You know what we're going to do? Exactly. We're a little bit more now. Like and subscribe to the channel. It makes a huge difference to us. Gets us back in the mojo.
Absolutely.
Did you see my shorts?
I did see your short. I was somewhat surprised. You are now. Does that make you now a YouTube master?
I mean, I say my shorts, but I literally told Alan he had to make shorts and give them to me. So that's actually what happened. Dude, just saying. It was kind of me.
Yeah.
I asked for it. I'm like Steve Jobs. I told other people to make stuff.
Well, speaking of making things, would love to start people signing up for the 40K Lorecast Major by Brad Chester and Brian Orton. You can find it on BCP right now. We're in just outside Detroit. It is the first weekend in June. Sign up
June
today.
6th, 7th, and 8th. Hoopla!
It's going to be a good event. The terrain is going to be the stuff that I use at Salt City GT, plus a little new additional stuff that's somewhere in customs.
Somewhere in customs.
It's coming from overseas. I ordered it really early on purpose. I'm sure I'll pay a 25% tariff somewhere.
I was gonna put up the logo real quick, but instead, what I want to show everybody is Lyle and Kyle at the Lyle's wedding. This is the best look that you guys will ever have.
Yeah. So I did just change the logo to show the Lorecast on the BCP link. So, hopefully we'll get everything fully updated here. And wait, we have some good news on this front. We are partnering with Green Banner Events in Picker and his crew. They're going to help us out. And of course, one of the nice parts about this venue for this event is we have full walk around tables. At the tables, there's bar service. They're going to come right to your table and take a drink order. It is going to be a fantastic.
Or in the hotel, there's attached food and everything else. We've got per round prizes. I've got faction prizes. One of the best things that I'm really excited about is we're giving out banners, like basically roll-up banners for each faction winner, plus an actual trophy that goes with it. So it looks cool.
It is going to be. It is a event by players, for players, 7 rounds, super fun, gonna be a great time. Please sign up.
Yes, and yes, and more yes.
And if you are in the Midwest, 100% you should be there, or you're going to feel like you missed out on something special.
Fool! You know nothing, Jon Snow. We should talk about the meta.
We should. But I wanted to plug it in the middle of the show today.
I already have. I'm so good on this. I've already have the the trophies getting done, and I've got banners getting done already in the works. I'm so proud of myself. I thought I'd be doing this like 3 days from
And
the event.
we have Army Painter as one of the sponsors. We've got Table War as a sponsor. We got more stuff coming in every day, so it's going to be fantastic.
I've got so many people to talk to at Adepticon too. Everybody said, "You be at Adepticon? We'll talk there." Yes. Yep. 75 calibers of the Emperor's Justice. You know, we had another good week.
Yep.
Imperial Knights coming in, rocking a 63% win rate with 2 event wins.
That is fantastic.
Who knew?
The big knights got cheaper. I'm not sure that's what's propelling them to the top, but hey, look, if you draw knights and you don't have the tools for it, it's going to be a long game.
I mean, they have some mojo on that. You know what I mean? Yep. They did get a little cheaper on that.
Yeah, I look, they continuously keep surprising me with how good they're doing. So I'm happy to see them doing well.
Well, I think one of the biggest things is you're getting more and more armies that are doing more Horde-esque or MSU, so you have to have more volume in your guns. You get more volume in your guns, and you have less night killing shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I've never been a fan of any big things like that. Eldar coming in with a big win percentage, really held up, but mostly by Unade. We had 3 players playing Windrider Host, which is still pretty legit. It plays like old school Eldar. But 0 tournament wins. And I think that's going to be one of the things that's going to haunt them on that is they're really, really good. And then they have that game where they're out in the open and they just get smoke checked and slapped around a little bit. They're still T3 with 1 wound. Like I said, I played them last week, and the bane of my existence was grenade and tank shock. When you have all your 1 wound guys... Hold this. No! Windriders are legit, though, man. You got 3 units that ignore cover, you know, because you slap a Warlock Skyrunner with them. That's for real. You know what I mean? They have a ton of shots. Yep. Him and Mike. Glad I did my part to keep Aspect Coast win rate down. Well done, sir. You're taking one for the team. I had a really good time with Aspect Host. I think Ynnari is probably the top, especially if you're looking for differential, but I just really enjoyed playing Aspect Host. It felt good to play Bealtan, basically. I really enjoyed them. I think that the Seer Council might be the surprising winner when everything's down. That army has so many nonsense tricks in it. It's pretty good, man. I think it's really legit. Poor Guardian, the Guardian battle host. Did anybody even play? Oh yeah, somebody played the Ghost of the Webway, or not Ghost of the Webway, but what are they? Guardian, whatever. I can't talk. The Wraith host.
Yeah, I mean, it not something that I'm playing at the moment, but yeah.
I mean, it's legit on that. Chaos Knights. Roll back to what we just said about Imperial Knights. They're probably slightly worse, but they're still benefiting from all the same stuff. Black Templar, they had like I don't know what happened, but they won some games.
Yeah,
they had a good weekend with the dude playing them. So
yeah, but here's the thing: were all the data slate changes effect for that tournament? You know, that's that first week after the data slate drops. I sometimes think the meta numbers, just because you don't know what had it, what didn't have it.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't make a true determination of everything off that.
I'll kind of read on that. I'll go back to that KR on this, but Librarian's Detachment for me has great rules, but it has too much character tax with guys that don't put up very efficient stuff. Blood Angels, I think Blood Angels are fine. I mean, we just saw that this weekend too. You know what I mean? How did they win? They had 52%. They had multiple wins. You know what I mean? They had event wins or just X and ones. No, they just had X and ones. They had multiple people go X and 1. I think the army's fine.
Yep.
You can't OP it with some stuff, but you can do some stuff on that. Death Watch, Death Watch is exactly where it should be and should stay there forever. You know what I mean? 50% win rate. It's got play. It's got some people that really hunt on it though. So yeah. Black Templars library should not exist. I mean, you're not wrong. Like they would kill those guys. In lore, you're like, hey, I noticed you're a psyker. Your head looks perfect for me to rest this bolt gun on.
Hold on 1 second while I pull the trigger.
Whoops, slipped twice.
I emptied the clip on accident. Oh god.
And then I got another one. Chaos Demons. I don't even know because are they going to exist in a minute here? Because they're basically making them go to each book. I think the Shadow Legion, we were talking about that. I think the Shadow Legion is going to be fantastic.
Hold on 1 second. I want to cut you off right there.
Oh, got it.
They specifically say in the article they are going to be an ongoing living digital index. What does that mean? Probably no book this edition. It doesn't mean they're dead as a faction.
Yes, well, you do that way when they have to basically give you the demons to go on. Shadow Legion seems fantastic. I think they're going to keep being. I think you're going to see a bunch of different things. Legion was doing well because the tournaments that people played them in, they still had they didn't have the updated rules. I think Legion's basically dead, and Shadow Legion is just going to take over on that. The rules for demons, I mean, that's one of the biggest things with Shadow Legion right now is I thought that it was cool that you could do stuff with CSM, but they had such good rules for their demons that I'm like, I would rather just take more demons most of the time. You know what I mean? You're probably
going to have like 500 to 600 points of Marines in that detachment.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think that's probably where it maxes out, though. To be perfectly honest with you. Yeah.
No, I completely agree with you. You're going to have a Havoc squad with las cannons in every one of those, guaranteed.
I will give Kyle credit because he told me that the Flesh Hounds, now that they can go back into reserves, are now puppy downies.
I like that one.
Well done. Well done. So it feels pretty good on that. The Krons, hey, Hypercrypt's doing well. Yeah.
Shocker.
Being able to put your stuff wherever the hell you want on the board seems strong. Yep.
I will say I did try out in 2 games this week the Shatter Legion, however the hell you say it.
Star Shatter Arsenal.
Yeah, I tried that out and I was slightly surprised with its damage output. It was much better than I anticipated.
Oh, it hits hard as shit. It just
man, when it starts losing primary, it just starts losing primary
because you don't have some shit.
Yeah, I was like oof.
Also, you're like, hey, I'm gonna hide from you. You're like, don't do that. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
So I think they're fine. You know what I mean? Awaken's still fine. So, having +1 all over the place is always going to be pretty decent. I mean, that's exactly what Bridgehead does right now. So, Thousand Suns, I don't know what to say about Thousand Suns and the fact that they still have like bananas damage, but they just don't have enough shit. They got the Terminators and something else went down on the data slate.
Yeah, a couple things got cheaper. I hold and wait for a Codex, I think, is the proper answer for that. But I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to book anyways, and GW's been pretty hardcore about it for forever, to be honest. With if you're getting a book, meh. Like, if something's busted in your stuff, well, I don't care. You're getting a book. Figure it out. You know what I mean?
In the next 3 months, we're going to be getting 3 more Chaos books.
Right.
If they don't adjust if they didn't adjust any of them in this one, it wouldn't have surprised me.
Yeah. Space Wolves or Space Wolf. I'd like to see Space Wolves get a book. We've already talked about this a bit. I think Space Wolves are fine, but I'd like to see Space Wolves get a little bit more flavor, more. Their HQ is doing a little bit more. You know what I mean? You should get bonuses based on who you brought. Grey Knights. Are Grey Knights going to start dropping down in win rate because we're seeing more big shit?
Maybe if we start seeing a lot more knights and big vehicles and big monsters and stuff like that.
I mean, that is their kryptonite.
Difficulty cracking them, yes. But they're also destined for a book late summer, early fall. So I mean, it's one of those wait and see things.
Yeah,
I think they're still going to win at a reasonable percentage. I
well,
don't
I
think they're
think
going
they're
to be.
fine enough. It's one of those things where I'd like to see their. I don't know. I'd like to see them have a way to take care of heavy shit a little bit easier than just having to have Dread Knights punch them. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's a that's their one thing that has big strength. You know what I mean? Is just going in hand in hand with
Yeah,
it.
that the Land Raider that's not getting played.
Yeah, yeah. It's not getting no, no. It is not. GSC. I think GSC's in a good spot right now. It's fine.
Agreed. Final day is some kind of strong.
I mean, yeah, you're right on that. He goes, and this one another tournament with GSC and German one with Votan. Yeah. I mean, what's his face with Votan? Why can I not remember his name? Whatever. He's fantastic with Votan too. You know what I mean? And it still just has a wild amount of output. So
yeah, and picking 2 units now at the beginning, that's really good.
It's huge on that. Orcs had a lower win rate, but had a bunch of tournament wins.
Yep.
So, and it was crazy because each detachment won one tournament. No detachment won 2 tournaments. So Green Tide, DACA, Tactical, and Warhorde all won a tournament.
Yep.
So I mean,
all good.
Orcs feel really good with Tactical and more DACA added to it. I really like that, just because I felt that Orcs should have an old Bad Moons detachment. I mean, I still think of them as the clans and chapters and everything else.
Yep, same.
So, Matto coming to the $5 super chat. Imperial Agents. Has a faction ever had a bigger gap between cool models and shit rules in 40k history? Ooh, that's a good one though. Well, for a while it was Custodes though. When Custodes first came out, because Custodes in lore literally laugh at Marines. You know what I mean? When they show up, they're like, "Get out of here, dude! I'll kill all of you."
I mean, Custode bikes are amazing off the get go. Man, Imperial Agents have beautiful models.
Oh yeah,
they really do. The Naval Breachers are a gorgeous model. The Cops are absolutely fantastic. They have really nice models.
Yeah. So
bizarrely, no army role to speak of, but hopefully over time that.
I'm trying to think of things that have had cool models that have just been bad. So,
I mean, the Tyranids, when they first got their line refresh, not the most recent line refresh, the one before this, they had a lot of bad models. The horror specs.
Evan might be right with this though. Start of 10th Death Guard, he might be the winner on that one.
Yeah.
Remember when they were just bad?
Yeah, they were bad.
Ooh. Well, Votan and them were just like laughable until they had to redo their index.
I still say AdMech have amazing models, and their rules are just overly complicated for no good reason.
Well, a lot of guys work with certain things too, so it's one of those like everything has somebody that they interact with slightly differently.
Yep.
Yeah. So, man, it is what it is. Calls the boss, by the way, as I'm recording the part of Yanari where Call shows up and low key says, "Hey, man, Gilliman, I know you want to do a new crusade. I've been doing this stuff that probably no one wants to ask how and where I found this, but I've got a whole bunch of Marines in the basement that I've been working on."
Just to let you know, this thing called heresy, I've been doing it for a while.
Like all along, he's been alive since 31,000. He's like, I've had 10,000 years of doing some real questionable shit in my backyard.
Here, let me open up the basement here. Oh, look, there's 100,000 Marines. Let's have a good
time. Let's not talk about it. Just accept that they're here and move on. That's true. Also, Carl also has my totally not AI. Also, I'm totally not cloning myself with that AI. Also, everyone that's ever worked for him gets shot in the head. Like, hey man, can you help me with this project? You're not going to shoot me in the face when it's done. No, for sure not.
This Codex Astartes, I mean, I saw an asterisk right about here. See, right there.
Yeah. Oh god. I think Dark Angels actually need a little juice. There you go. They've been doing okay, but I still think they need a bit of love.
So is it a reworking of a detachment rule or two?
I'd
Is that
like to see their unique detachments overshadow the fact that they just take Stormlance and Gladius and stuff. Unforgiven's being played, but I just feel like they should those should be just the go-tos. It would also change the style of play they can do. Because right now, a lot of the Marines are I do not like, and I've said this before, and I'm a little bit of a broken record, but I don't like the fact that a lot of the Marines feel very samey. You know what I mean? I like when the detachments feel a lot different.
I
So
agree.
so that's Zooms, you're 100% right on that. Bobby G was not super excited when he woke back up. Like, what?
Yeah.
Death Guard are just Death Guard. They're fine. I don't think they need to be touched. Nurgle Matt, what do you think about your Nurgle? Because I think they're legit. I mean, Nurgle's probably stronger in demons right now, but Death Guard's still legit. So I think that's going to be a boss mode. Dire Avengers were good for exactly 37 seconds, and then they said, "Look, man, you're doing too well," and they nerfed it. So
Yeah, I still don't understand. I'm gonna stick to my guns.
I mean, you're not wrong on
Every Eldar player I knew was very excited to play Eldar. They got it on the table for a weekend and then didn't get to play it.
It was funny because Snake started painting Azerman, and I'm like, Azerman died. He goes, I know, and here's your half painted Azerman that I have ready. Boo, boo. Custodes, I don't think this is a real thing because Custodes are going to win at a better rate because Lion's the Emperor and they got a bunch of buffs. I don't think very many people did that. Here's the thing. I actually want to. What do you guys think on this? And yourself also, Brian. Where is IG going to end up now? In the moving forward in the future.
I think they're going to be in that. I think they're going to be a tier codex with one or two detachments, and it's just going to be a skill based army. We'll see. I think there's a lot of play. That book is very deep. There's a lot of different detachments. There's a lot of different play styles. It depends on where the meta shifts as all these new books hit. Because I think Guard have the tools to shift with anything.
Yeah, I'm looking at them and I don't know where they're going to be. I mean, they've got a lot of stuff, to be honest with you. So it's legit. CSM, is CSM going to continue to just be that decent, somewhere in the range of 50% army, or do you think that the people are going to go to the Thousand Sons, World Eaters, Emperor's Children, and just like Shadow Legion?
I think the number of straight chaos-based Marine players will drop off, and the specialized detachments will pick up, and you will see the win rates on stuff actually pick up because of it. Because the people who are good at playing it and enjoy playing it are going to continue, and then because some people just jump and go to other things, then the win rates will actually kind of stabilize and go up a little bit. Personal opinion.
What's AdMech need?
Cheaper? I mean, it doesn't cost you, $1.25 a point now, so it doesn't seem like it's cheaper.
I mean, is it because detachment diversity? I agree on that one, brother. I think the army's fine-ish, but I would like to see them just reworked. It's just
give them a new detachment, give them something else, and please, in all means, some of the stuff that you increased up in points in the last,
that has to go down.
Just reverse that and bring it back down. Making Call and another character cheaper so you can get them in the army does not make the army. Don't make an army.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see a world where their other tanks and stuff seem more valuable. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It does seem like you're just bringing bros. We already talked about Marines. I'm still surprised that Tyranids are up and down. I mean, they had a bad weekend, but for since then they've been at basically 50%. Are they going to continue to be a 50% army moving forward? They got like baby nerfs, but not very much.
Nope, they're going to go down. The meta's in the midst of shifting to being an anti-troop transport meta, because troop transports are very powerful, which means you're bringing more stuff to kill monsters, which means their strength of the monster stuff drops off. So the people who enjoy, like myself, playing the big monsters, their win rates are going to go down. Vanguard, there's a lot of other things with just as many movement shenanigans and tricks kind of getting out there. So it's starting to limit the ability of that. And, durable MSU that ends up coming out is not great for them either. So I think they're going to drop off a little bit. I think they're fine. I think they're still going to be in the sweet spot most of the weeks, but they're going to have some bad weeks.
I agree on that, man. I think they're going to be fine. World leaders are fine, and I think they're going to be. I mean, again, they have a codex coming out, so it doesn't matter.
The new unit next weekend.
Yep. The army that I want to see going on is, where's Tau at right now? Because I feel like they're a lot better than a 40% win rate.
So their new detachment that they got, I think, is very good. Right, with the exception of the enhancement for the airburst fragment projector, the other three are very solid. Right, so you get the better melta, the better plasma, the better flamers. I think that helps. I think overall that detachment looks really solid. We'll see where that shakes out. I think a few of their units are still too expensive based upon what they do, but they have the capability to kill anything in the game in shooting. Their problem is when something gets right on top of them,
they get some issues.
Yeah, there are certain units that they need to have pointed a little bit better so they have better.
Hold on, Lyle, I got you. Lyle coming in with a $2 super chat. At Brian, in my best Trump voice, wrong. I'm going to give him the bonus of fake news.
Fake news. I think the new detachment's good. I could be completely wrong. I have not played it yet. I've only read and looked at it. But it looks fine. It looks like it's going to be a playable detachment. I think they need some tweaks and changes, but an army that primarily only plays in one phase sometimes is limited in a meta. And right now, I think they're just a little limited in the meta.
Drukhari. Did Drukhari need more point nerf or point buffs?
Yes.
I agree.
I don't know what they were thinking.
I don't know why.
I think someone at EW is going, "Oh, Scary, he beat me." No, screw him.
I don't have another reason, man. It's just they don't even get played that much to be able to deserve that. I really thought we were going to see some pretty sweeping changes to Drukhari's points, because here I got it pulled up right here, because just warriors and witches went down and that was it, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's just crazy.
Do they have new detachments coming for him? Do they have some love coming for him that we don't know about?
I love Sky Splinter Assault. I just think that they need points. All those points going up. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's just that in itself was just crazy when you took a faction that wasn't winning at a really brutal rate, and also it's very easy to kill. You know what I mean? They just need more stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, the book's like forever away.
Yeah, the book is forever away, and I don't know. It feels like someone doesn't like that army. I don't know why. It's just a feeling.
Yeah, I think that was wild on that. Oh, let's see who won this one. Orcs in a landslide are the most improved army after the data slate. 52% of the vote.
Not surprised.
I mean, they could use an attachment, but I think the biggest thing for Drukhari is, they give them some freaking points, man. I was very surprised that they didn't just get all their points rolled back, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yep.
I thought that was just a little crazy to me.
Drukari is one of the armies that I think their rules are good. I just think their points are wrong.
Yeah, I mean it's a real thing on that. I just yeah. I agree on that. Tell me about this Salt City GT also. We talked about the 40K Lorecast Major in June 6th, 7th, and 8th, which you better be signing up for. What do we got going on at Salt City? And when?
The Salt City GT. August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Same format as we are doing in Detroit. 7 rounds, 3 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Player-friendly event. Brand new walk-around tables. I actually just bought 23 5-foot by 5-foot tables for the hall. So it was to make things a little nicer and better. To go with that, it's one of my events. So it's very much a laid-back party atmosphere, tons of hobby prizes, tons of best in faction prizes, cosplay prizes for best overall. We are going to have 3 golden tickets for first, second, and third best generals. So everyone that comes in the top 3 for best generals is, getting that invite to Atlanta. It is going to be a fantastic time. If you haven't been before, this is the 4th one we're doing in Syracuse. They just finished renovating part of the hotel, and there's more renovations that they're working on. So it is going to be absolutely a good time.
And I have to give the zoobs on this one. Get your tattoo planned at Salt City and get it done at Du Bois.
So yeah, look, I'm working on it right now with the local tattoo shop to have at both Du Bois and at Salt City flash tattoos done, where you can go up and spend X amount of dollars and get a flash Warhammer tattoo. So should be a good time.
We just get really shithouse drunk and wonder why we have weird tattoos. Why do I have a towel tattooed on my butt? With that, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Queens, wave us out here, Brian.